Hello and good evening. I mean, I have no idea what time you're listening to this, but it's currently the evening for me, and that lovely background noise is my air conditioner, which I'm so sorry, but I will not be turning off, and I am not skilled enough to figure out how to filter that noise out. So, I'm accompanied tonight by my air conditioner in Australia, coming at ya to tell you my thoughts on life, because I'm Nikki, and this is Life According to Nikki.
Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that.
Guys, I just have a few things that, I need to get off my chest. I need to speak about. So, I just came from a party, literally not 2 minutes ago. I've already completely stripped off my clothes, took off my cakes, because we all know I don't wear bras anymore, and I have changed my clothes, put on socks, and I thought, I need to talk to the people. I need to talk to people, which is hilarious, because I literally just left a party because I didn't want to talk to people. And this is what I have to speak on. So, there's something so interesting about being extrovert presenting. Here's what I mean by that. Everybody who has ever met me, ever, would assume that I am extroverted. Actually, that's a lie. The only people I think that would not assume that are the people that I worked with when I worked for the church, because we mainly worked online. I was only in the office once a week, and I usually just kept quiet and didn't really say it very much, because I just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be over here in the corner. It wasn't until the end of my year-long internship that I was doing there that I finally let my personality show through, because I wasn't sure how it would be taken. You know, me actually saying what I went to school for and what I want to do with my life and my career and blah, 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 blah. It was a great experience working for the church, do not get me wrong. And I learned a lot, and I think it was valuable to be put more in that position. That was something I was working on that year. Instead of constantly being in a leadership position, I wanted to kind of step back and learn how to listen better and be a team player. That was something that I was working on, so I got a job that would help me work on it, and I think that it really did. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is, yeah, none of those people knew who I actually was. So anyone who actually has met the real me would just assume that me in a social situation of any kind, I would be thriving. I would be just in my element. I'm telling you right now, that's incorrect. It's like when everyone assumes that stand-up comedians are just super social and the funniest person in the room. So many of them say that they're not, that they're actually the shy person in the corner and they don't like talking to people, but yet when they're doing stand-up, that's where they thrive. I am similar, actually. Put me on a stage, give me a mic, I'm absolutely thriving. That is my ideal environment. You put me in a room full of people and there's no direction of what's happening, we're just told to mingle, my actual hell. My living nightmare. No, please, for the love, do not make me just have small talk with a bunch of people. I just feel like a fish out of water. I don't enjoy the atmosphere of being in a room full of people and everyone just kind of circling up, and then you're all just standing there drinking from various glasses and trying to figure out something to talk about. No thank you. Actually, I want to leave. I want to leave right now, please. And I did. I was there for the mandatory amount of time that I needed to be there to get the information that I needed. So let me set up this scenario. I walked in the room. It's so hot. It's so loud. Everybody, has glasses of wine and champagne or whatever. I really don't care that people are drinking. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. But I have nothing to hold on to because I don't drink. So immediately my hands, where are they supposed to go? Because all of yours are occupied. But what about me? What about my empty palms? I got nowhere to put them. I'm wearing an outfit that don't have pockets because I was told that this was a formal wear thing and not enough dresses and outfits have pockets. So I'm just standing there awkwardly. I don't have a bag. I'm just, trying to figure out where to put my hands, for one. Then it's loud, it's hot. I think I already mentioned that, but it's worth mentioning again. We're just told to mingle. No thanks. Actually, I'm so good. I don't want to do it. I don't want to mingle. Not in that setting. Put me at a table, small group. Yes, let's go around. What's your name? What are you studying? Tell me about yourself. What country are you from? Because, I'm now an international student, got that environment going for me. Yeah, great. Give me a little antidote. I'll go on my little thing. All eyes are on me, and we're entertaining each other. It's great. I love that. But a room full of people all talking simultaneously, and you're yelling over each other, and you're having even the same conversation of what's your name and what are you studying, it doesn't hit the same. It hits way worse. It's like the difference of being sick at the hospital versus sick at home. You know what I mean? It's just so much more uncomfortable in the hospital. When you gotta go to the ER, you're just miserable and you're on the uncomfortable bed, and sure, they bring you a warm blanket, but that doesn't completely cover up the fact that everything about this situation sucks. The environment, the noises, everything. That's how I feel in these social situations, that I'm just so uncomfortable that I don't want to be there. I feel sick. I feel ill. Oh my gosh. Then everyone turns to me, the resident extrovert, because again, extrovert presenting, and they expect me to carry the weight of the conversation, of the moment. And, sometimes I do, but listen, people, you gotta give me something to work with. Otherwise, I'm gonna be overthinking this, and then I'm gonna go home and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't let anybody else talk, and it was just the Nikki show, and I don't know if people actually bought tickets to the Nikki show. I don't know if that's what people wanted. If you're buying tickets, if you're endorsing this, then absolutely give me a topic, I will talk. I will happily go on for hours to any size room. But when I'm not sure, because I'm meeting strangers for the first time, I don't want to just assert dominance and be like, you know what, everybody? I'll take over the conversation. Why don't you hear all about me and my life? No, I'm not a complete social pariah. All right? I do have some common courtesy. That's why I have a podcast, okay? Because I need to get these thoughts out somewhere, and I know it's not appropriate to just do it in every social situation, all right? Not everyone needs to hear from me. Not everyone wants to hear from me, and that's okay. Honestly, it should be that way. I should not be the only voice in a room, unless it's an empty room. Then I will be talking to myself, and I will enjoy my own company. But I don't know where the freak I'm going with this conversation. I'm going all over the place. Okay, hold on. Let me compose myself. Let me figure out, what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is, I don't like just being put in a room, being told to socialize. It feels the same way that it feels when someone hands me a blank piece of paper and tells me to color, just gives me colored pencils or crayons, and is like, be creative. No! I am type A, with the pointiest tip and the straightest lines. Type A. I need direction. I need a plan. I need you to tell me what topic to speak on and for how long. I don't want free reign. I want rules and I want structure, and if we can get an Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint up in here, I would be happy. Now, this party did end up having that for a minute. So it was about 10 minutes of awkward socializing, and then we had a little presentation that was given to us. I was thriving during the presentation portion. Everyone needing to be quiet, everyone focusing on a singular thing. Yes. Okay. Whew. My anxiety lowered a bit there. And then when that finished, they said, have a great night, everyone. And then we were all expected to go back to socializing for who knows how long. I don't know. All I know is the moment that presentation was done and the words, have a great night, with each other was said, I was out of there. I turned to my group and I said, lovely chatting, but I actually need to leave. I just think it's so funny because I know that it doesn't make sense with my personality. I know that I come across as very, very extroverted, and I am, but Once again, it is certain scenarios. It is very particular. I like to have more control over which scenario I am actually in and being social in. I like the hostess position. I don't like being a participant. I don't, okay? Sue me. But I'm a great host, all right? If you want to party, I'll throw it. It'll be themed, and there will be activities, and there will be a purpose to it, and it'll be so fun. Or if you just want to hang out, I love that. I love facilitating hangouts. I really enjoy that, and I love being social in that way. But again, the self-directed, just come and enjoy, no. I'm so sorry, I can't do it. It's exhausting to me, it stresses me out, and I feel just absolutely pooped. I feel tuckered out when I'm finished, and I didn't have my nap today. So you think I'm going to be socializing like that after not having a nap and doing it all day? See, that's the thing. My tolerance was already spent. My period's going to start in 2 days. I quite literally don't have the energy for this. I mean, just on a physical level. I've cried 2 times today. I have nothing left to give. So apologies to everyone, but I'm in my luteal phase, and I need to go to bed. I need to go put on a heating pad. I need to just not talk to anyone and cry at a TikTok video of an anglerfish coming to the surface. Yeah, that was one of the 2 things that made me cry today. Actually, I cried 3 times. You know what? I cried twice, missed it up once. That's what happened today. And I socialized all freaking day. I'm so tired. But actually, side note, we need to talk about what made me cry today, because I actually think it's quite funny. So, as I'm sure we all know now, there was an anglerfish that floated to the surface. It's so small and so cute. There was this video of it just floating towards the surface, and they had these words on the screen that was quotes of what the anglerfish was probably thinking, and it said that I want to see the sun before I go, and it had beautiful piano music playing. That got me, man. That got me so good, just imagining this little anglerfish down at the bottom of the ocean, traveling up so many miles to just see the sun right before it died. As its last thing, I want to see the sun. That absolutely needs to be a Pixar movie, okay? I would bawl my eyes out at that, because just this 2-second video that I watched was enough for me to just lose it. I mean, it was so beautiful. And then people in the comments were just commenting what the anglerfish's last thoughts probably were. And then when it surfaced and it had the sun, oh, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. Okay, but then in one of the comments that I read, it was this person that was like, I'm a marine biologist, and actually, it probably, there was something wrong with it, and that's why it floated up, blah, 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 blah. Why are you here? Excuse you, you weren't invited. You quite literally need to leave, because everyone here is romanticizing this moment, and either get on board or find somewhere else to spread your negativity, all right? I don't need to know the science. All I needed today was to know that anglerfish wanted to see the sun before it passed on. And that was just beautiful. The other things that made me cry today, I watched 2 different astronaut videos of 2 different female astronauts seeing Earth from the inside of a spaceship. And one of them, she's the one with the daughter. I wish I knew people's names. But anyways, the caption was the moment that I realized I was in a different place than my daughter. And just her face and her facial expressions. And then she looks out the window, sees planet Earth, and says, "Hi, Delta," which is her daughter's name. Yep, that got me. And then you had another woman that showed her parents, and it was my dad that grew up really poor, and my mom that was severely bullied. Then it's her in this spaceship going up, and then she thanks her parents when she's looking out the windows, and she's like, "This is for my mom and dad. I wouldn't be here without them." And just the joy on her face, oh, it was beautiful because I was like, you're right. Like, her parents sacrificed so much and they must be so proud of their daughter to be an astronaut. And then it got me thinking about my parents and how I'm on the other side of the world from them. It got me. And it's getting me right now. I want to be the best sexologist I can be, okay? Make my parents from Utah proud. Make my very sexually conservative community proud. That's my goal. No, but like genuinely it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so those things. And then the last thing that made me messed up was because the astronaut videos were back to back. So I'm going to count those together as one. The anglerfish was the second. And then the third one was, it was the most beautiful sunset tonight. And I was walking back from campus. I put my headphones in and I turned on Hosier, Would That I, and just lived in my main character moment with my short sleeve shirt, feeling the warm breeze on me and all around me, looking at this gorgeous sunset that I'm gonna put on the Instagram, and basking in the fact that I'm on the other side of the world and I'm about to start classes. I had just come from an orientation about my degree and my faculty, and I've just gotten so deeply excited about my program, and I hope it's amazing. I really, really do, because I want it to be, and I'm excited for it, and I hope it doesn't disappoint and that I'm not putting my hopes up too high, but man, I'm excited about my classes. And I genuinely feel like this is the very first time that I felt that way, because there's been classes that I've been excited about in the past during my undergrad, and they were all my sexuality classes. I really, really loved them, and that's what made me want to do this. Those were the only classes that made me genuinely excited. There were some classes that I was like, this is fine, but I wasn't looking forward to them like I was with my sex ed classes. But this right now feels like this college experience that I have always dreamed of but haven't had. And I don't know, I'm hoping it's great, because with my undergrad, I didn't have like a cohort. I was in 3 different programs with all the stuff that was going on with my degree, which you all know the background story of, or if you don't, that's in my bio episode, my 10th episode. You get a little bit more background on that. I didn't have your average college experience. And I mean, I was very lucky. I got to travel all over and I had moments of it. But this 1.5-year program, I'm just hoping that I can meet people and get study groups together and get to know my professors and really develop as a professional in this field and as a student. And yeah, I just want it to be great, you guys, and I hope that it is, and I will report back on the good, the bad, and the ugly. So look forward to that in coming days. Okay, it's time to move on to just some other topics, some other things that I have to talk about. Looking at the notes section on my phone, first up I published a book. Guys, I can't believe I didn't announce this on here. I'm a published author now. I posted it on my Instagram, so hopefully if you follow the Instagram, you've seen it. But I published my grief diaries, and there is an extra holiday analogy that I have not shared on the pod before, or actually anywhere. That one I never published on any platform, but it is in my book. And I also have a little bit of background to start off the book about just Maddie and Jake and who they are to me. And I'm still planning on keeping my Grief Diaries episode up, but I do have plans to audio record the book so it'll be available on Audible, but also that it will be available as an ebook, because right now it is a physical book. You can order it on Amazon. It's titled The Grief Diaries, Analogies of Loss and Healing by Nikki Kelly. It has a blue cover. I'm really, really proud of it. I'm also so grateful to my friend Nikki. Yeah, we happen to have the same name. She's also been on the pod. She was the one that encouraged me to do it, to just publish it. So we did. And I also really want to give a shout out to Reagan, who came on the pod, gave me confidence that it is pretty easy. Like, you can do it. And she gave practical tips of how to do it. So I just followed her advice literally from our episode and did exactly what she did, uploaded it on Kindle Publishing, and boom, I'm a published author now. So I can add that to my resume, which is very exciting. So if you want to buy it, I would love that. Really, what I would love is if you bought it not only for yourself, but as a gift to somebody else. If someone in your life loses a loved one, a friend, just someone that they know, if they're struggling with grief, maybe not even from loss of a person, but just the loss of something, that you could get my book for them and tell them that, you know, you may not be able to understand what they're going through, but maybe these analogies can help you feel understood, because that's truly why I wrote them. So I hope that you all get my book, and it will be coming to Kindle Unlimited and all of the ebook places soon. So I'll keep you updated on that. I have a new life slogan. My roommate that I was living with right before I came to Australia, named Jackie, shout out, hi Jackie, I know she listens to the pod, so hey girl. We were talking one night, and I was just saying something, and I was like, dude, I'm a lot. And she goes, yeah, you are a lot, but you're a good time. And I was like, that is my slogan. I'm a lot, but I'm a good time. And I love the caveat, because it is true. I am a lot. I am a very big presence, even though I just went on a whole 20-minute tangent of how I left a party so early. But just know, for the 10 minutes that I was there, I made an impression, okay? Like, people knew I was there. But I didn't want to be there anymore, so I left. Yes, I am a lot. I'm very needy with my 20 million back pillows and my 2 chairs so I can prop my feet up in the back of the room so I can stand up. Like, there are a lot of needs that I have. My chapstick, always on hand, need that. But I am a good time, and that you can rely on, especially if we're in a small setting. Yeah, we're gonna have a great time together. Going back to talking about my ideal scenario, I created my absolute dream party before I left for Australia. I got together all of the incredible women that I know, and I invited everyone. I said, no boys allowed except for my trans people. You know who you are always welcome. The theys and the thems, they're always welcome at my parties, okay? But I said no spouses. I was like, sorry husbands, you are not allowed at my party. And I threw this huge party. We had girl dinner. We had a chocolate fountain with just like a bunch of different things and cake, and it was great. And then everybody got paddles with yes and no, and I did a 2-hour presentation. That was an actual dream for me. When I was thinking about what would I want for a party, like what do I want to do, I was discussing this with Nikki because she's an experienced designer, and she was saying, well, the one thing that everybody has in common that will be coming is you. So she was the one that originally recommended that I treat it kind of like a live podcast episode. That was the best thing she ever could have said. And it got me really excited, and I spent literally 8 hours working on my PowerPoint presentation. I presented to everybody about the movies that I love, the movies that I hate, and why. I did a little bit of sex education because I'm so passionate about that. I promoted my friends and their businesses because I have the most incredible friends. And at the end, we went through my Hinge profile, and what we did is I set the location to Australia where I'm living so that everybody could see what my new dating pool was going to look like, and then everyone was able to vote yes or no with their paddles on if I should swipe on them or not. You guys, I posted this video of this night in just a minute and a half. It was so fun and hilarious. That video right now currently on my Instagram is at 300,000 views. Isn't that insane? That's crazy. I just posted a part 2, so we'll see if the part 2 explodes as well, but it was doing pretty normal there for like a week. It was at, I don't know, like 2,000 views or whatever, and then out of nowhere, it just got out of hand. So anyways, that was kind of exciting. And it gave me hope that, okay, I had a video go viral. I could potentially have multiple videos go viral in the coming year, and maybe I can do something with that. That is my goal. So if you have noticed, if you follow the Instagram, I've been posting more on the Life According to Nikki page because it was a personal goal that I set once I moved to Australia, that I would start posting on there more so I can build up an audience and hopefully transfer that audience to the Virgin Sex Educator. So you are all seeing my diabolical plans in real time, and we're going to see how it grows. Hopefully it grows quickly and in amazing ways. But for now, my little one-off video has a decent amount of views. Next, we have a quote that really inspired me a couple weeks back. It says, "An expert is just a beginner that never quit." Ah, profound. An expert is just a beginner that never quit. So true. Ladies, take that in, digest that, which is also so ironic coming from me because I swear every other episode I'm like, it's okay to give up. It's okay to quit, which I also still stand by. But I did love this quote because I felt like it was saying, don't judge yourself because at one point everyone was a beginner, and if you really are passionate about something, and if the only reason that you're going to quit is out of fear that you're not good enough, fear that you won't be what you want to be, that I don't think is a good reason to quit, because you should press forward and you should push yourself. But, if it's a stupid book or a stupid movie, girl, turn it off. All right? Those are not the same things. We're not talking about that. We're talking about your dreams here. This next note, it just says, "I once had whooping cough and it was horrible." That is a true story. Okay, you know what? We're going to get into this really quick. When I was 16 years old in high school, there was a girl in my neighborhood who just so happened to not be vaccinated, and she had whooping cough, and she gave that to me. And yes, I was vaccinated, okay? So for anybody wondering, I was fully vaccinated. But you can still get things even if you're vaccinated. We're not going to get into the details of vaccinations, all right? That's not what this pod is about. But for anybody that was wondering, I was vaccinated, and the person that I got it from was not vaccinated, okay? Well, anyways, I get whooping cough, and it was genuinely one of the most horrible experiences of my life. Let me just read the definition really quick of what whooping cough is, okay? It is a highly contagious respiratory tract infection, and the symptoms include coughing violently and rapidly until all the air has left the lungs and a person is forced to inhale, causing a whooping noise. I am telling you, it was terrifying having whooping cough. It's also known as the 100-day cough. You have it for minimum 90 days. It was awful. So what happened was, I would start coughing, and when you have like a coughing fit, when you swallow water wrong or something and you can't stop and you're like, oh my gosh, and you literally have to cough it out. That is what it feels like. You have no control over it, and you feel all of the air leaving your body. So the panic sets in because you continuously keep coughing out air, but you need air. So all of the signals in your body are going, we need air, we need air. And then you panic, and in a moment in between coughs, you'll gasp for air, but you can't inhale it because you're still coughing. And so that's where it makes the noise, like a it literally sounds like a whoop. The word that they use for whooping cough, whooping, that is the noise that you make. I don't know how to quite replicate it perfectly, but it was horrible. Every time I ate, if I coughed right after I had finished swallowing, if I didn't have enough time to digest it, I would throw it up because you're coughing so violently. And I dislocated my ribs. I had to go get my ribs popped back into place twice a week, okay? Tuesdays and Thursdays, I was going to the chiropractor because I would cough so much and so violently that it would dislocate my ribs. And then I'm dealing with that pain every time I cough. It made it so I couldn't lay down. I had to sit up because I couldn't breathe. You have a runny nose. It was horrible. And I also gave it to my younger brother, Michael, who also has asthma. It was awful. It was a horrible, horrible few months in the Kelly household when both me and Michael had whooping cough. Oh my goodness. And I will say, having experienced it for myself, I can 100% see how dangerous this is for infants. Like, when they say that whooping cough can kill small children, I see why, because they literally do not have the lung capacity to handle the violence of these coughs, and you don't have enough time to like suck air back in before you're coughing again. So even though I had fully developed lungs, I think you have fully developed lungs by 16, it took everything out of me. I mean, I would be walking, and if I started coughing, I'd be bent over completely. Again, if I had just eaten, I had to like try and stumble my way to a trash can because I'm puking because I'm coughing so badly. And then even just thinking about it, the panic, the absolute sheer panic that I would feel. I felt like I was drowning because I just felt the air leaving me and I had no air left, but yet there was no way to get air back in, and so it was just so your chest is all tight and you're gasping for air. It was awful. Do not recommend. Okay, listen, be against vaccines all you want, but like, girl, get whooping cough vaccine, all right? As someone who had it, that one's important. It is awful, horrible, 0 out of 10 experience, and I legitimately think it did irreparable damage to my esophagus or whatever it is that, yeah, it has to be my esophagus that I'm like coughing out of, because ever since then, when I get a cough, it turns into a horrible chronic cough. I just think that, I don't know if that's based in any sort of truth at all, but it's true for me, okay? Because when I get a cough now, it's horrible every time. When I moved to China and I got what's called Shanghai lung because the air pollution is so bad in the air. Luckily, of course, it wasn't as bad as when I had whooping cough because that was its own experience. But my cough in China sounded awful. It was horrible, and I had it for probably 4 months after I got home. So it was almost an entire year that I had just a chronic cough. So, yeah. There's my coughing journey. Thank you for listening. I don't really have any good segue into any other unit or a good way to end this section, but yeah, I had whooping cough once. Add that to my lore. Okay, I actually forgot I wrote this next one. I said there are 2 places where we see what society could be: the airport and Disneyland. Everyone trusts that no one will steal your stuff at the airport. And then at Disneyland, I put my wheelchair anywhere with all of my stuff on it, and I'm good. There is not a worry in my mind that someone's gonna steal my bag at Disneyland. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it does, but it feels like it's gotta be rare. But really, truly, let's think about the airport luggage situation. The fact that we all are standing at that carousel, and you're just, trusting that no one's gonna take your bag? I could be a criminal. I could just take somebody's bag right then and there. Especially when it's a huge flight and it's a big carousel. No one could know. You could easily slip through the cracks. Just go to the airport. Oh, and it's unprotected, that section, right? Baggage claim. You, a stranger off the street, could just go into the airport, go into baggage claim. If I was homeless and a criminal, I would do that. I would 100% do that. I would just go to the airport. I would wait until the bags came, because you know how sometimes, like, you're stuck sitting on the plane at the gate or whatever, like, you're not off the plane yet, but your bags are already being delivered to baggage claim? Yeah. No, I would just go in, grab me a couple bags, and then scooch my way on out. You know, maybe wear some sunglasses, a hat, and a hoodie. Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? No one's gonna stop you, because it's this weird setup that we have at the airport where there's just zero regulations on the bag situation. And I can't believe that that's the system that we have. That we have to go through 12 different points of security. We got to do 12 million things. Take off your shoes. Take off your belt. Take off this. Is that 10 ounces of liquid? Is that a conditioner bottle? Is that a laptop charger? Yeah, get it out the bag, okay? But you know what? That entire laptop bag can just go on the plane, come off, zero label. You know what? Honor system. Honor system. Once we get past security, it's like all security no longer exists. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that bizarre? Yeah, anyways, I think about that a lot. I was asking some friends what opinions they have, and I honestly don't remember which one of them said it, or else I would give them credit. But they said Olive Garden is perfectly mediocre, and I couldn't agree more. You're so right. Like, is it amazing? Absolutely not. But do I hate it? Would I not go there? No. I absolutely crave Olive Garden. I'm down to go to Olive Garden any day, anytime, because it is perfectly mediocre. And yeah, I think that actually might be a hill I'll die on. So we can just add that to the list. I mean, it's a small hill. I wouldn't walk too far for it. But you know what? Yeah. Olive Garden being perfectly mediocre, I'll lay down my life for that, sure. Okay, this last thing is a call out. I have 19 people on my Audible account, okay? So that means that I do not remember who I have given my Audible account information to. But at some point in time, if you are one of those lucky 19 people, I need you to listen to me now. Whichever one of you keeps buying books with my credit, girl, you gotta stop. Because you're buying books I don't want to read, and that is my money, and those are my credits, and that is my hard work going towards your books that I don't want any part of. I want them to go towards my books. I went on today, and once again, there was another book that was purchased that was not me. And I contacted all the people that I know that use my account, which was like 4 people. So that is 15 unaccounted people that could potentially be using my credits. I need you to remember that you're using not your own account. You're using my account, babe. And I'm fine. I am fine to give out my Audible password because truly, I think more people need to be reading, and I am happy to contribute to society in that way. You know, if you would like my Audible password, just DM me. I will give it to you. But now we have a condition. I didn't think it needed to be said, but clearly it does, which is crazy because I have had this Audible account for like 5 years, and I've never had this issue. The last time that I gave out this account information was 2 years ago. So people have been using this account for years. And out of nowhere, 3 books have been purchased. That's 3 credits. Oh my gosh. I'm actually so upset about it. Because I can't return those. And I can't get more credits. Now I have to buy more credits for myself because you're using them? No. And I don't want to have to reset my password because I don't think it's worth it to punish all those other people that I don't remember that have my password, that just one day, for all I know, they're in the middle of a book and they're going to wake up and they don't know my password and we haven't talked in years, so they don't feel like they can message me about it. Girl, you can. Okay, the answer is yes. You can come out the woodworks and just text me and be like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, but like, I actually been using your Audible for the last 5 years. That's totally fine. That's a very reasonable reason to DM me, and I will happily give it back to you. But I didn't want to mess with the ecosystem that I have created. But one of you little snakes out here are using my credits, and it's pissing me off. Okay, stop buying books I don't want to read. And I can't return them. If you want to buy a book, that's no problem. Just send me the money, girl. Venmo me and you can use my credit. Pay me for that book. Because I have an Audible to buy my own books. Okay. Alright. Thank you. I needed to get that off my chest. Just public service announcement. Don't buy books with my Audible credit. That's all I had for you. Thank you so much for joining tonight. This has been lovely. It is now 10 p.m. here, so I'm gonna hit the hay, as they say. I hope you all have a wonderful day, morning, night, whatever it is for you. And as always, thank you for listening to my thoughts on life, because this has been Life According to Nikki.